Reverend Robert Gilmore and Stephen Brock. First of all, Reverend Gilmore, tell me why you're here today and what message do you want to send? I understand there's some frustration there.
Yes, there is some frustration. We are trying to take 3 full buses to Washington, D.C. to the 50th anniversary march on Washington. 2 almost filled, but the third one needs sponsorship and college students. And so we're here to promote the idea to our corporate business and clergy leaders to call me, 281-546-8168. If you want to sponsor one of those young people, college students, go on that third bus. Or in the case of individuals who are elected officials or business individuals, you want to call me because we know in Houston we got the money and we certainly got enough college students. And if there are any college students who at this last minute decided they want to go, we want to be able to tell them. So they can also call 281-546-8168. This is a historic event, will never occur in your lifetime. I'll be dead and gone 50 years from now.
Are you disturbed that you don't have the sponsorship in the city of Houston, Texas, this close to the 50th anniversary on the March on Washington, which will be this weekend?
That's right, because Thursday the first bus is leaving. And I'm telling you, I'm disturbed that I haven't gotten any calls, that the National Action Network leadership here in Houston, Ms. Willie didn't get any calls. And we've told people know about the march. Many of them are going to be in Washington, D.C., and they have not called, say what they could do, or had their own staffs working to help get this done. This is a no-brainer. And I am not embarrassing myself as a Houston leader to say we couldn't get a bus. If somebody is willing to be on the bus 24 hours to be a part of history, why should you deny them?
Who do you want to hear from? This is YouTube now.
I want every person in Houston, Texas who considers themselves a leader and wants to be able to do something to support this effort and some of the other efforts we got going on in the future. But most importantly, elected leaders, faith leaders, or corporate leaders. This is a no-brainer. 281-546-8168. Or you can connect to the Facebook at Real Urban Ministry. We'll pick up your message. Or my own at Robert McKinley Gilmore Sr. But you need to say something today.
You mentioned that you spoke with some individuals here in Houston, African-American individuals,
yes,
and they didn't know why this march was necessary.
Well, some people don't think it's relevant. People think that black people have arrived 50 years after the March on Washington, 150 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. But I beg to differ when you look at what happened with the Chad Holly case, what happened with the Trayvon Martin case, and cases all over the country. The only place you've arrived is in your driveway, and you need to be careful if you don't get mugged.
Also, we have Stephen Brock, a student here from Booker T, Washington. Why is it important that you attend this March on Washington?
It's important because I should set an example for the other young students like me so they can realize that they're still able to take a role in politics and history, and they're still able to be heard out in the community.
Are you surprised that you guys don't have 3 full buses or even more buses leaving Houston?
Yes, sir, I'm very surprised.
What can you say to people to help them, I guess, make a decision to support this effort to get to Washington, D.C.?
I can say that this is a historic event. This is like a one-time occurring event, and if you put your money into it, you'll be taking a part in history and impacting other people's lives, and also impacting your life also.
Reverend Gilmore, any closing words?
I only want to say to the leadership in Houston, Texas, step up. This is not just a march. This is the 50th anniversary march, and you have to remember the speech, I Have a Dream. Dr. King had a dream, but the dream is not fulfilled. Sometimes a dream can turn into a nightmare if you don't do what you need to do to help with these young men or other organizations. Again, I am thankful to CWA. I'm thankful to Mr. Kubash and others who've donated thus far, but I'm looking for some other people to step up. ASAP. It's a blessing.